Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into one of the most talked about developments in South African politics, former President Jacob Zuma stepping back into the spotlight, this time at the helm of a highly secretive meeting of the uMkhonto weSizwe party's national officials. Now, if you've been following the political landscape, you'll know that Zuma has never truly faded into the background. His presence has continued to dominate conversations, especially since the rise of the MK party, which has shaken up the political scene. But this latest closed-door session has really set tongues wagging, and not just because of who was in the room, but because of what might be planned behind those closed doors. According to reports, the gathering was attended only by the top brass of the MK party, no outsiders, no leaks, and no distractions. Zuma himself presided over the session, and his office later confirmed that the purpose was to sharpen the party's strategic outlook. But beyond that short statement, almost everything else remains shrouded in secrecy. And that's exactly why it's creating so much speculation across the country. So, what exactly is this all about? Well, the meeting is said to be linked to preparations for the MK party's upcoming 5-day Strategic HUVO. For those unfamiliar with the term, HUVO refers to a high-level strategy session where the party reflects on its current position and maps out its next steps. And this particular one is expected to be intense, lasting 5 full days. That's not a casual workshop, that's a political boot camp. Analysts are already pointing out that this HUVO could serve as a turning point for the MK party. It might be used to consolidate internal structures, fix fractures within the movement, and present a stronger, more unified face to the South African public. It could also be where they refine their controversial stance on governance, which has drawn both support and criticism. But here's where things get even more interesting. Critics are warning that Zuma's leadership thrives on secrecy, intrigue, and calculated maneuvering. By holding such a sensitive meeting away from the public eye, some believe the MK party may be planning something far bigger than they're letting on. Could it be a roadmap to expand their influence in parliament? Could it involve strategies to form alliances? Or could it even be a hidden play to position Zuma more prominently ahead of upcoming elections? The silence from within the MK party is fueling all these theories. In politics, secrecy often creates power. And Zuma, a man who has weathered scandals, court battles, and fierce opposition, understands that better than most. For his supporters, this is simply a leader strategizing smartly. For his detractors, it's yet another sign of shadowy politics that put personal ambition ahead of national transparency. Remember, Zuma's political style has always been about commanding attention, even in the face of controversy. When others count him out, he finds a way to come back into the center of the game. This meeting is proof that he still knows how to set the agenda and keep both his allies and his opponents guessing. But let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. South Africa is currently facing multiple crises, economic challenges, unemployment, service delivery failures, and widespread public frustration with government corruption. The entry of the MK party, led by Zuma, has already disrupted the balance of power, especially among voters who feel let down by the African National Congress. The question is, will this HUVO help the MK party channel that frustration into a coherent vision, or will it deepen suspicions that the movement is built more on loyalty to Zuma than on clear policies? Observers are also asking, what does this mean for the ruling party and for opposition groups? If the MK party manages to come out of this 5-day retreat with a strong strategy, they could become a far more formidable player in the next election cycle. Imagine a scenario where Zuma's party is no longer just a protest movement but a well-oiled political machine. That could shift the balance of power in a major way. At the same time, opponents are preparing their counter-narratives. Already, voices in the media and civil society are warning that this level of secrecy could hide intentions that don't serve the public good. Some fear the MK party may be planning strategies that prioritize power over accountability, echoing concerns from Zuma's presidency, where accusations of state capture and backroom deals defined much of the era. But make no mistake, whatever comes out of this HUVO, it will have ripple effects across South African politics. Zuma's ability to keep the country talking about him shows that, love him or hate him, he remains one of the most influential figures in the political arena. So where does that leave ordinary South Africans? For many citizens struggling with daily realities like rising costs, unemployment, and poor service delivery, these high-level political maneuvers can feel distant and abstract. Yet, they are critical, because the decisions made in rooms like this eventually shape the policies that affect people's lives. The secrecy of the MK Party session means the public will have to wait to see what emerges, but the stakes are high. In the end, the big question is this: is the MK Party on the verge of redefining itself as a credible alternative in South African politics, or is this just another carefully concealed power play by Zuma to remain at the center of attention? Only time will tell. One thing is certain, though, Zuma has proven once again that he knows how to command the spotlight, and that the MK Party's next move will be watched very closely by allies, opponents, and the public alike. So, what do you think? Is this strategic HUVO a sign of a bold step forward for the MK Party, or are we witnessing the quiet plotting of another political storm? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you found it informative, subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into South African politics, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, we'll keep you updated on the latest developments as the story unfolds. Until then, stay informed, stay engaged, and stay critical. See you next time.